Yo, what's going on guys, it's Tom and welcome back to a brand new video and episode number 12 of my F1 2016 career mode. And as you can see, we are here for round 12 of the season at the returning German Grand Prix, and a really good track, one of our favourites on the calendar. I'm so glad we're back at this venue. Just a great racetrack with a great crowd and always just great racing. Now as you can see, right now we're just in practice doing a track acclimatization test, and we absolutely smashed the target, easy peasy, no problems whatsoever. And with that we move swiftly on to the tyre wear test, and this was also a fairly easy standard procedure. We managed to smash the target on the end of lap 4, and then later on we would smash our secondary target of 80 points by the end of lap 6. But overall practice is quite crucial at the moment because we are slipping down the order and we are behind Red Bull and also Mercedes, so we are looking to try and get at least ahead of Red Bull and then try and push after Mercedes maybe by the end of the season, depending on what we do for season 2. But we need to try and get some resource points in the bank to try and get some upgrades on the car. Now as you can see, we set a qualifying test lap there good enough for the 3rd place target, and that was our one and only lap because we actually run out of laps after that because the tyre, or the super soft tyre, had no more performance left in it. Now as you can see, we move swiftly onto qualifying, and we're coming through for our one and only lap in Q1, and that is good enough for P8 on the grid, so a pretty solid lap there to get us through into Q2 quite comfortably. And as you can see, we comfortably got through in P10 there by the end of Q1, and then we move swiftly on to Q2, and hopefully we can try and get through here with a fairly easy lap and not take much out of the tyres. And that's exactly what we do as we set in a pretty comfortable lap time there, 6/10 off of the pace, but good enough for P4. And you can just see the difference with the Mercedes just being so much faster. I just can't seem to match that car for pace at the moment. We're a little bit off the pace in the prancing horse. But as you can see, moving into qualifying now, we're in the final part of Q3. As you can see, just coming through the final corner, and we come across for a lap which is only good enough for P6, right behind our teammates. So a very disappointing lap for Q3, and eventually that is where we finish. And as you can see, it's pretty much 2x2 team order, with the Mercedes taking a 1-2 at their home race. And crucially, you can look at the gaps there, you can just see that we are the 3rd best team. There's just no ifs or buts about it. We're just not that quick in qualifying, so the upgrades really need to do a job for us. But anyway, we're going to move into the race, and hopefully we can try and get a better result than in qualifying and try and get some solid points on the board. So without further ado, let's jump right into the German Grand Prix, and let's see if we can try and get maybe our first win in the prancing horse. Right, so here we are then. It is race day at the Hockenheim, and let's see if we can try and get a result that we need and try and get at least another podium to try and maintain a good run of form at the moment. But it's going to be a tricky race here at Hockenheim. As you can see, it's going to start off sunny and go a little bit cloudy later on in the race. I think we're not going to have any rain, so I'm going to go for the super soft, medium strategy, a fairly bog standard strategy using all 3 tyres. I'm just going to play it nice and safe on the 2-stop strategy. Now I've decided to up the fuel a little bit and overfuel ever so slightly more, so that we have a little bit more fuel left over by the end of the race. So we're going to jump right into it right now, and hopefully I can try and get a race in one of the tracks that I most love on the F1 calendar. Right, here we go then. The 5 red lights are coming on now. We're going to try and find the perfect rev range, and let's see if we can try and get a good start here in the German Grand Prix. It's an all Ferrari 3rd row, and we are underway for the German Grand Prix. A pretty low rev start, and actually not the best of starts. We've got Grosjean trying another sniff. Gutierrez trying another sniff up my inside into turn 1. He actually makes the move stick. I'm going to switch back on him to get back past him. Gutierrez in his 2nd race back in the sport after he replaced me after I left for Ferrari. He's giving me a good old fight here. I'm going to squeeze him a little bit, and hopefully he doesn't make the move. And there we go. We keep him behind us for now. Just noticed Verstappen up ahead is on soft tyres, so we've got a couple of different strategies going at the moment. But now Gutierrez on the back straight. Look at this, he's coming back at us with the very own power unit that we have, and here he goes. He's going to the inside. I'm going to squeeze him a little bit into the braking zone and just try and outbrake him and hang it around the outside of the hairpin, which is exactly what I think I've done, and we should be able to get the traction on him on these super softs. And there we go, we just about managed to stay ahead of Gutierrez, and now we can see if we could try and pass Max Verstappen. We've had a great exit through turn 3, and look at the straight line speed that we've got here. We're going to absolutely fly past Verstappen into the braking zone. We should be able to get the move done on the brakes just about as we go up the inside, running in a little bit deeper to make sure Verstappen doesn't get his nose turned in. And there we go, we get the move done for P5, and we can now try and go after our teammate. Oh, Hamilton's out of the race. Lewis Hamilton is out of the German Grand Prix, and he was in the lead of the race, so that's a game changer and a half for this race. So one of the big boys, one of the Mercedes cars in the home race, is out of the Grand Prix already. Oh, Raikkonen peels off into the pits already, so an early stop from King Raikkonen on lap 4, so that is a very early stop. And meanwhile, I'm just going to set the personal best lap of the race, so I've got some good pace still in these super softs, albeit with some DRS assistance, but still some decent pace. Now Rosberg peels off into the pit lane, so it's me and Ricciardo who are stretching out these super soft tyres. So you've got to think, are Rosberg and Raikkonen on a 3-stop strategy, me and Ricciardo on a 2-stop? Because if so, I'm racing Daniel Ricciardo for position here. Alright, here we go. Ricciardo's in and so am I. It's going to be a pissed-off battle, even though Ricciardo does have a pretty healthy cushion up the front there. I'm going to push this pit entry a little bit. And there we go. It's a pretty decent pit entry. I think we're getting a little bit on Ricciardo. Meanwhile, Verstappen on the soft tyres stays out, so he's going to be going a little bit longer this stint. Now, it's a question of where is Raikkonen and also Nico Rosberg. They might have been caught up in this little train of traffic that are coming by us right now, so who knows? They might have lost a lot of time. We've had a pretty quick stop of a 2.2, so a good pit stop there. There's Rosberg, and Raikkonen's just coming by us now, so we haven't lost that much time to say we pit pretty much 2 laps after Raikkonen. So let's see if we can try and latch on to the back of these guys and try and overtake them. Oh, we've got a huge crash up ahead. What's going on here? There's a car just blocking the road. I'm just going to go around the outside and it's NASA. And we've got a virtual safety car. We've overtaken all of those cars at once. So I don't know what's going on there. I also adjusted my fuel dial to go into rich mix. But for some reason, all those cars have slowed down. I think we've actually overtaken Ricciardo, Rosberg and Raikkonen. So I think we're in a net race lead at the moment. Great strategy from these guys in the pit lane who have decided to stop because it saved them a lot of time. And there's Verstappen. So Verstappen has brought himself right into play because of that pit stop. And now the virtual safety car is ending. So brilliant strategy from Red Bull and Max Verstappen. So they're right in the mix. So really good strategy there from the Red Bull team. And speaking of Verstappen, here he comes. He's flying up to the back of me. I think he's got DRS wide open, and I'm surprised his DRS, I'm pretty sure, is disabled for at least 2 racing laps. But we're going to switch back on him. A little bit of a corner cut through there, but we're both on fresh, soft tyres. And I'm in rich mix at the moment, but look at the speed of that Red Bull. Verstappen fighting me as hard as he can. Eventually, I think he's going to back out, and yes, he does. And we managed to stay ahead of him. Thank God for that. That is some decent pace on these tyres. And we're showing some good signs so far on these softs. We're just about keeping Verstappen behind, but he's looking very racy so far. Here comes Verstappen again with DRS wide open. He's just so quick in a straight line. But he's actually going to go for the move this time. I'm going to run around the outside of him. And this time, can we try and beat him on traction? We're on the exact same tyres. His tyres are 1 lap lower than mine. But we are going to get him just about, shut the door on him through there. And there we go. We hold on to P3. Here comes Verstappen again. He just won't go away. He's so quick in a straight line. We just have to try and battle him here into the hairpin. I'm going to switch back on him again and try and pick up the traction. But Verstappen really just not letting go from this battle, and I can't seem to shake him off. The DRS is keeping him right in place, so I just can't pull away from him. Right, this is definitely our best chance to get rid of Max Verstappen. He's still behind us, but he's not as close as the previous laps. And now I've got DRS on Sergio Perez, who we're going to try and fly past into the hairpin. Let's just try and make this move stick and make Verstappen navigate him also and lose a bit of time. So there we go. We're back into the race lead. And now let's try and pull away and get that second gap to Verstappen. Alright, so here we go then. We're coming in for our second stop of the race. I'm coming in for a set of medium tyres, and I'm going to take these to the end. So we're going to try and push this pit entry a little bit. There we go, just about perfect. And we're going to go into the mediums and hopefully drag these to the end. I'm struggling for tyre wear a little bit compared to someone like Max Verstappen. So we're going for the early stop to try and defend our position. So it looks like we could be hurting later on and we might need the tyres. So I'm going for the risk here. I need to push now on these tyres. There's Verstappen right there. He's just done his pit stop. He's back onto the mediums. We're going to just about stay ahead. So we've managed to make that work. I was struggling a little bit on the mediums there just to get him up to temperature. But we're now all systems go. We are in rich mix, so we should be able to try and defend from Verstappen at least on this straight for now. Just got to try and keep this pace up and we should be okay until the end of the race. But Verstappen is just not... I can't shake him off. He's just too quick. Verstappen is just so freaking quick. I could not get away from him. And here he comes now. He's absolutely flying in a straight line. He's an absolute rocket ship. And I just can't do nothing about it. I'm just going to sit back and wait. But I'm hoping that he'll become a bit more vulnerable later on in the race. Because right now, he deserves the race lead. He's so much quicker than me. I think me and Max are just so equal on pace. I mean, look at this. I'm right on his gearbox. I've managed to easily stick with him now that he's been in the lead. It's almost like cycling. Literally just tugging along and just switching positions. But this is so easy. Max is just really can't decide what he's wanting to do. I'm trying to pull away and push for the lead, but Max is coming at me in second place, and then he can't pull away when he's at the front. So really strange situation here. Here comes Max again. I'm going to go to the inside this time. I let him have the outside, but I mean, he's just so much quicker. I'm going to try and outbrake him, but it's just no use. He's just so good in some areas, and now I've got to try and re-overtake him again. We've got lap traffic to negotiate, and I'm trying to get past Verstappen. Can we try and make this work? Oh, we've got these lap cars. NASA, please, mate. Just going to go around the outside, go into the marbles, which isn't going to help. But Verstappen's lost a heap of time, and he's still behind NASA. So we've actually gained a huge advantage over Verstappen, and I couldn't get past him in the previous lap, but this time I did. However, now look at this. Why is Palmer trying to overtake me? I mean, just, Jesus Christ, you're a back marker. Just let it go, man. And there we go. We hold the inside on him, but we need to try and hold this gap to Verstappen. We've got about 7 laps to go, so let's see if we can try and make this work. Last lap of the race, I'm in absolute rich mix here. Here comes Verstappen. I want to go to the inside and try and defend from him into the hairpin one last time. I'm going to run a little bit deep on purpose to try and squeeze him out, like what Nico Rosberg did. And there we go. We get Verstappen. We just squeeze him out a little bit there. And my front left is on like 75%, so we need to try and get to the end here. Here we go, 2 more corners to go, and we could be coming through for our first victory in a Ferrari car, through the final corner, across the line, and we win the German Grand Prix, and pretty much, I'd say, one of my best wins of the season with the Ferrari car. We've won, I think, our 4th race of the season. We won 3 races in the Haas, and this is our first one for the Prancing Halls, and what a race win that was. Just a great race overall, and such a satisfying result, and a massive 25 points for the bag. And I think I might be retaking the World Drivers' Championship lead, but we'd have to look at that in the driver standings after the race. But overall, an absolutely fantastic race, and Ferrari's first win in a long while actually this season. And as you can see, looking at the podium, Danny Kvyat there getting in 3rd place alongside Max Verstappen, so a good result there for the Red Bull Driver Academy. But as you can see, number 23 reigns supreme, myself in Germany at the Hockenheim, and what a race. And as you can see, these are the final race results, and I obviously win the race with Verstappen in 2nd and Kvyat coming home in a brilliant 3rd. Also Sergio Perez in a brilliant 4th place, then Bottas in 5th, and Carlos Sainz also in a great 6th place for him. Crucially, Nico Rosberg down in P8, so a horrible race for him, and also my teammate Kimi Raikkonen down in P12, and even more important yet, Lewis Hamilton, the only DNF and the first DNF of the Grand Prix. So 3 big rivals dropping points this race, and also Daniel Ricciardo down in P9. So a couple of big shocking results here at the Hockenheim, and a massive swerve for the World Drivers' Championship, which we will see in a moment. And moving into the driver standings, as you can see, we are leading the championship once again this season, and we are 16 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton and 24 points ahead of Nico Rosberg. So a really solid race here to really extend the championship lead and really get ourselves on the front foot for the second half of the season. Now all we've got to do is try and hope that the upgrades come faster for us, but Kimi Raikkonen there doing quite low in only P7, so he's got to try and get his act together and sort of bring his game up. But as you can see, in the constructors, we're still in 3rd place, just behind Red Bull, just 2 points behind. So we could try and maybe overturn that deficit and get past them in the next race. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Hi, Emma here. I had a sit down with the executives today to talk about your progress. Long story short, they're happy. Keep it up.
So as you can see then, once again, just like the Hungarian Grand Prix, the team is very happy with my performance, and they're very impressed with how I've been driving the red car, and they're very happy overall with just my overall impression that I've given them since I've arrived at the team. Now, as you can see, just moving into the R&D screen, we've got over 1,100 resource points to spend, and we're going to purchase our first 2 upgrades in the Ferrari car. Now, the first one that we are going to get is the downforce upgrade to try and improve our cornering speed, and hopefully we're going to try and follow that up with a chassis weight. So if we get both of those upgrades, that's going to give us a hefty little upgrade, and that should carry us above Red Bull for the next race. As you can see, looking at the graph there, we should be well ahead of Red Bull for the next race in Spa. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you have, then I would appreciate a massive thumbs up on the video. See if we can try and hit maybe 100 likes. That'd be a challenge for you guys. And also, if you're new around here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. But overall, guys, hope you did enjoy the video, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. Goodbye.